You know, a lot of films spoil everything in the trailer, and this is one of the few that spoil it all in the poster. In fact, pretty much just the title tells you like the type of spoiler you probably shouldn't know before going into this.
Okay, here's the thing. Watching this movie, I got the impression that it was never titled Devil until after they got done with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's like, okay, there's one character who's mentioned, it's El Diablo, and here's the legend of Devil that me and people from my country believe.
Yeah, the cliche.
And he's kind of a joke. You kind of laugh at it. And even, everybody blows him off. And it was almost like when they were done with the movie, they were like, this doesn't really have a direction. Oh, wait, where's that one guy?
Yeah.
That's where we'll title it. Because it could have been anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of all right. So what we've got here is a bottle movie, which the very definition is something that's used more in television than it is in film.
Yes.
Because it's really hard to do right in film. Film is expected to be grander and bigger.
Yes.
And with a bottle film, which means everybody's trapped in a very confined space, you have to really rely on the performances. They have to be top notch, and generally speaking, or you have to have one hell of a twist. Devil has neither.
Yeah.
And that really hurts it a lot.
It hurts it really badly. I mean, honestly, all I was thinking, like, man, I am so glad we're recording this hours after seeing it.
Yeah.
Because I was starting to forget the movie on the way in the parking lot on the way back to my car.
No, I think that was kind of the goal, because there's a point at the movie towards the end where you start getting into the twists where he delivers his MacGuffin that they had already established couldn't possibly be there.
Yeah.
So he was hoping you forgot that earlier.
Yeah. What, you got 5 people trapped in an elevator?
Yeah.
And but power goes out, lights flickering, and when the lights flick back on, one of the characters has been slashed.
Yeah, he's been one of the characters. The first time one of the characters has been
seemingly
bitten. Just a weird mark on their back.
Right. There's blood.
So paranoia begins almost immediately.
What happened to her?
It feels like something bit me.
Wait. Does anybody have anything sharp on them? They might have cut her. She might have cut herself on.
No.
Why you got blood on you, man?
She fell into me.
So you cut her?
What? No. Something must have happened to her, and then she fell into me. She probably did it to herself.
Come on. Bit her own back.
You think this is a bite?
No, nobody got bit.
What else could have done that?
Well,
I'll tell you.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, serrated blade could have. You mind if we search your pockets?
Yes, I do mind. You mind if we search yours?
Go right ahead.
Maybe she has a serrated blade on her.
Are you seriously suggesting that I would do this to myself?
I don't know.
Give me another reason to kick your ass.
Jeez, bro, take it easy, okay?
Bro? I'm not your bro.
You got 5 people who are either completely unlikable or just nondescript.
Sure. I mean, which is kind of the point when you get to the whole why is this even happening, but at the same time, they're not very interesting to watch.
No. I mean, yeah, you kind of don't care. So if they're going to get killed, you're like, well, so fucking what? But the idea the film wants to get is that paranoia because, hey, this happened when the lights were out, and who did it? Who can we trust? Who can we not trust? Unfortunately, they just start bumping people off so quickly that it doesn't even matter. It's like you don't even have time to build up any tension or paranoia.
Well, I would say the only thing that really does work in Devil is actually the claustrophobia, because I was feeling that idea when ever the lights go out, they do neat things with the sound, and you're like, okay, this premise, this idea is actually solid. I mean, I didn't think it was watching it, but like the trailer, but actually seeing the film, I'm like, you could have done really good things with this idea. I truly believe that. But as you said, you don't really care about these people at all. They're supposed to be not nice people, but that doesn't mean they have to be unlikable. It's a shame because it's a Twilight Zone episode, and as an hour-long episode of the show The X-Files or Fringe or Supernatural, it could have been a really cool episode of a show like that.
See, I don't think it could have been those shows because those shows tend to have a lot more going on.
Well, they do, but it's always those shows that every once in a while pulls a bottle episode
sure.
like that.
But this movie, it's barely over an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. Is it 80 minutes? Yeah, that's what I thought. But there's not. If this was a TV show, I don't feel like it could really sustain a full hour. And even a TV hour is 44 minutes.
Yeah. This is so far from the worst thing that he's done, though, and I'll hand that to him. I mean, it's not – he's just producing, even though it says story by. It's uncertain how much he fiddled with the script that was actually by a good writer, Brian Nelson, who wrote Hard Candy. I suspect he fiddled with it a lot because a lot of the recognizable foibles of M. Night are here, which is just plain sloppiness in the script. I mean, there's a lot of sloppiness going on here. One of the most interesting things going on in here is the police detective on the outside who
Chris Messina.
Yeah. So we start off right from the beginning, finding out he's a ex-alcoholic, 90 days straight,
right?
And he almost drank himself to death after his wife and his kid were killed in a car accident by an unidentified driver. Gee, I wonder if that'll come back up again.
Well, and then when it does, it's just so ham-fisted.
Well, you're just waiting the entire movie for it too, and so when they want you to be all like, oh, there's no way you possibly could be,
right?
Because come on, it's the Roger Ebert's law of movie conservation. If you bring up something that specifically, that pointedly in the opening fucking scene of the movie, it's gonna come back around in an important way, even though it doesn't feel real or right, or it just feels contrived.
What's this?
An apology note left at the site of a hit and run. My wife and son were killed out on Bethlehem Pike 5 years ago, but that's okay, because whoever did it is sorry. You can tell by the heartfelt apology on the back of a car wash coupon. So no, I don't believe in the devil. We don't need him. People are bad enough by themselves.
M. Night it just feels like he's creatively exhausted at this point. It really does.
Well, it's like he is, but no, like it's not, I won't say it's like nobody will tell him. I mean, I guess they won't. But it's like he doesn't know it. It's like I think about when I was after high school, went to Mexico and saw a bullfight. And there's a point when they stabbed the bull because the bull won. It gored a matador. I mean, it was a chick matador. And it was like, but like they go like, well, since you won, now we have to kill you. And they stab it.
That's such a bullshit deal.
It's total bullshit. But they stab it, and it walks around for a long time bleeding, and then slowly it dies. And it's the sickest thing you see. But the thing is, it's like this thing is dead. It's walking on its feet dead, and it doesn't even realize it.
And this is M. Night.
Yeah,
with a bunch of colorful spears sticking out of him.
It's like, dude, you got to stop for 1 second and take an assessment, a real assessment, and go like, wow, I'm not just treading water. I'm drowning.
We're getting into action movie dialogue here. M. Night, you're the bull, and Spill.com is the toreador.
Now, I've heard that in the recent ads, they've taken his name off of him.
Have they really?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they heard about the whole famous M. Night groan that is literally a term on the internet now. I guess they call it I always hate saying his last name because I'm always certain I'm saying
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. I tend to say Shyamalama Ding Dong just because I'm so uncertain
everybody does that.
how to pronounce it correctly. But, fuck it. I don't really care at this point.
Yeah.
But that's a term on the internet because no matter where you go, when you see this trailer, the audience will laugh or groan or both when his name comes up.
Well, let me tell you something, Cyrus. I went to see this at midnight, and the theater was packed.
Was it? There was I saw it this afternoon. There was about maybe 8 people in the theater.
When I saw it at midnight, packed with college kids.
Yeah. Well,
and they were just looking for, every little thing. They were, ooh. And it's like, wow, really, you guys?
Well, you come on now.
I know. America's education system is not all that it should be.
Well, yeah, it's not even that. It's just like a bunch of college students. They just got back or just got here for the first time. They don't really have much homework yet.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
They're just looking for something to do, and probably half of them are a little drunk.
Okay. No, good point. I was, but like you said, it's not the worst thing.
No, it's not. There's actually good qualities to it.
I was just surprised by how limp it was. I mean, once it was all said and done, I was like, especially the ending, I was like, man, that was weak.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'd almost prefer it to be something stupid where it really tried and failed miserably than to just be such a waste of time for me.
Yeah, one of the things that really irritated me during this, though, was that, okay, so they've got these cops that are, like, talking to them one way on the elevator through a speaker, and they've got other cops who are running around the building trying to figure out who these people actually are on the elevator so they can figure out about their background, because there's clearly a killer among them. Not that would do anyone on the elevator any good, even if they found out who the killer was. The real problem is that they've got like one guy with a hacksaw trying to drill through the wall through the entire movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could have gotten it done faster than that.
That's one of the most frustrating things about it.
You're just like, come on, I know you're not on a different time schedule here than the audience, than the movie itself. You've already established that. So what the fuck movie. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I just having a hard time believing this is how anyone would handle this situation. I keep wanting to talk about what's good about this, and you keep sidetracking me with what's bad. I think there are some actual good things in here, and that is that it is actually kind of scary watching these guys get killed, and that concept of being trapped on the elevator there. I mean, some of the one death in particular where somebody's head gets twisted all the way around. I was like, okay, that's fucked up. That's gonna stay in my head for a while.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's, I mean. I kind of like the music that was going on with it. I had that whole kind of, like, maybe the 80s Twilight Zone feel to it, like this driving, like, kind of almost a little bit Tim Burton-ish. Not Tim Burton, I'm sorry, Danny Elfman-ish.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
I liked it. It kept me going
Okay.
when the movie was not really helping me out a
All
whole
right.
lot.
Okay.
And nobody is out and out bad in their performances. Like,
There was nobody where I said, like, man, that dude sucks.
No, not at all. They were just they felt like television actors. They really did. And just average ones. M. Night's new series, of which this is the first of The Night Chronicles, of which apparently there's going to be 3. This is the first one. The second one is going to be called Reincarnate, whatever that's about. It's a jury discussing a case dealing with the supernatural.
Yeah, I'm sure it's 12 Angry Men, except the devil shows up.
And then apparently the last one, which doesn't have a title yet, is taken from a tiny element from a script that was going to be Unbreakable 2.
Right.
So don't get excited. Oh, it's going to be like Unbreakable 2 as part of the season. No, it's not at all. No. Not even slightly. No. So, I just hope that this makes no money at all. But I hope he gets to keep doing these at the same time, because it's a good, but just in a different format, like next to Masters of Horror on Showtime.
No, Masters of Horror. That's exactly what I thought about. It's like, you know what? He needs to not make money in the theater, but just move this to be in a Showtime series.
Yeah, because I think he would be a good producer for a series of like this type of stuff.
Yeah, some anthology.
Yeah, exactly, for an anthology show. Why not? But he just
M. Night Shyamalan's Tales from the Crypt.
He refuses to back down from movies. I mean, look, go talk to Charlie Sheen. All right. He'll let you know it's a hard road. It really is. But sooner or later, you have to come to terms with it. You have to have the serenity to accept what you can't change.
Right. The thing that's stopping him is that thing called pride.
Yeah.
And it only hurts. It never helps.
Yeah, he might feel it fucking with them.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be generous and give this a high rental, because
Really?
I will be that generous, because I think that at the very least shows promise of something more along the lines of what M. Night should be doing right now, other than directing his own films. I think that maybe he could back off a little more and let the directors and writers do their own thing, because I think it really feels like it was his hand that made most of the mistakes here. But at the same time, if this had been like a Masters of Horror episode, I would have walked away from it going, that was pretty good. It's just as a movie, I go,
I walk away from it barely remembering it. And had it been a Masters of Horror episode, I'd have watched it and turned to something else, and probably not even. Once again, I would have not thought about it. To me, it wouldn't have been one of the worst episodes, hopefully, but not one of the best, not one of the ones to remember anyway. And if somebody asked me, hey, did you see that show? Is it worth watching? I'd be like, I guess. I don't know. So for me, it's you know what? I'm so close to giving it some old bullshit, but it didn't piss me off.
Yeah.
So it's a very low rental, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so we're still both rental.
We're both
just
rental.
Different extremes of it. Yeah, he should have just made one movie of a man trapped in a porta potty with strange noises coming from down below. I mean, there's gonna come a time that's all it's gonna be like.
Dude, I would like that better. Just people surrounded and afraid to get some gross shit on them, rather than something.
M. Night Shyamalan's poop, which they could have called it this film. To be fair.